It's been amazing. It's been amazing to be able to minister to this many people in one place in such a non-in-your-face kind of way. Just in a very, we're just here to serve.
It takes a lot of work to create a beautiful garden. The same holds true when it comes to kids. That's why United Methodist have provided funding and countless volunteer hours to Seeds to Succeed, the Northern Illinois Conference program that does everything from sprucing up schools to providing supplies for students and books for classrooms. To find out more, let's welcome Reverend Heyman Na, pastor of Tinley Park United Methodist Church in Chicago. And thank you so much, Reverend Na, for joining us and to talk about Seeds to Succeed, which was an event, a one-day service event. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about it and how it all came about.
It was a program designed to take the church out of its four walls and to really reach out and touch the lives of those in our local communities. It was a project that was held all around our Northern Illinois Conference of the United Methodist Church. There were three main sites in Rockford, Elgin, and Chicago. Those were sort of our hubs, and there were a lot of sub-sites all around that day where people volunteered their time to work at schools, collect backpacks for children, held anti-bullying workshops, etc., to really make an impact that day as people of God.
And you were out at Marcy Newberry, right, which is a child advocacy group,
Yes.
or organization, nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
Tell me about that day and when everyone started signing up and what that was like and what you did there.
Our main site for Chicago was held at Marcy Newberry, as you mentioned. It's a nonprofit that serves the children and their families in Chicago. And we had so many folks from different churches sign up, from unexpected places as well, who saw advertisements, our billboards along the highways even, and came. And so it was so nice to see people really unite to serve and look out for our upcoming generations. It was a heartwarming event. It was a time where, you know, one story in particular sticks out to me. One family, a single mom, her name was Jennifer. She brought five children. She has 5 children, and even in the midst of her family having their challenges, she chose to bring their children to come and serve as volunteers so they can start at a young age to come and serve others and sort of be formed in that practice of giving. So that was one story that really remains with me.
And I talked to Jennifer, and I remember she was saying that she's been out of work for a couple months, and to make that sacrifice and to come out, and she was there all day long with her young children. She had young children up to probably, you know, middle school age, to come out and to work, and they were organizing the library at the Marcy Newberry and working out in the garden. It was really incredible to see.
Yeah, and just having them interact with all the other families that came to serve as well, and seeing them work together, that was really memorable. And having young people come out, I mean, it was for our children, but to have children there and youth there and young adults there to pluck weeds, to clean the library at Marcy Newberry, to scrub the floors, to sweep the classrooms. It was a good event, yeah.
And how important do you think it is that churches, you know, have a relationship with schools?
I think it's fundamental. It's part of our DNA. Our desire is to nurture the younger generations and to make sure everybody has the opportunities to earn a living, to find their calling in life, to find a vocation, a meaningful way to contribute to their communities, to society.
And many of these schools are right across the street from some of these churches, and schools are dealing with budget cuts, and this is a great way to volunteer and to get those, you know, maybe some community service and to build that relationship in the community.
Absolutely. We had some of our church groups go out and do some weeding in the schoolyards, spruce up some playgrounds, do some painting inside. And so those are some ways that folks gathered for Seeds to Succeed and partnered with their local schools.
And the other big thing was hundreds of book bags were collected and school supplies. How much of an impact or a difference do you think, because someone might say, well, I'm just giving a book bag, you know, how much of an impact can that have? What do you think it meant to the children that received the donations?
To know that someone out there cares, that someone, not just someone, but a group, a community is invested in your learning, in your growing, that has to mean a lot to not only the children, but to their parents, to those who teach the children, that they're not alone, that there is this maybe faceless, but still very much existent community that's out there praying for them. These backpacks also, Anne-Marie, were blessed. They were prayed over. And so they were not only sort of physical gifts, but they symbolized, hopefully, to the children receiving that and to the families, that they were our spiritual gifts as well, that with these small tokens went also our hearts and our prayers and our well wishes and our covenant with them to be invested in their lives.
And you talked about the bullying component. There were workshops held around many of these events. How important do you think that is that we present that? I know the goal was to make it a safe place for children as they go back to school.
Yes. I mean, bullying, as you know, Anne-Marie, is so widespread, and it really does have traumatic impact on children, even as they're growing up. Many times those who are bullied end up being bullies themselves. So it's, in a way, this it's contagious, but it's a meanness that is contagious. And so for the church, along with the schools, along with the local community, to give voice to that, to say, actually, this is happening, and what is happening is not aligned with what we think God desires for each and every individual. I think that was very important for us to do, and to provide ways for the children to respond to bullies, to situations of bullying in constructive ways, to let them not be alone, to fend for themselves and not be scared and feel isolated, but know that there are people who care and are mindful of these situations. I think that was really important, and I'm really glad that it was a very important part and an emphasized part of our Seeds to Succeed program.
And there are ways that we can continue that throughout the school year, and that was the intent, right, of the Seeds to Succeed event, to continue that dialogue and conversation.
Yes, and it really was a Seeds to Succeed. We were just planting seeds. Seeds start out small, but we hope they'll grow and bear fruit in the end. And in many of the backpacks we sent out to the children, we included inserts, pamphlets with tips for our children, how to deal with bullying situations, what they should do, so that they're armed not only with book bags, but a good mentality and an awareness. You can never start too young, you know.
True. Thank you so much, Reverend Nye. I really appreciate you coming and sharing this more about Seeds to Succeed and all the impact that you and many others had on our children in our communities.
My pleasure.
You so much.
Thank you.
And I'm Anne-Marie Gerhardt for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.
We are so fortunate and so thankful to have these volunteers to come in to support our school and to support our kids. It really is inspirational to see the commitment and the enthusiasm that the volunteers have, and we are really, really lucky to have them here.